Okay, in order to create the exploded view drawing, we're going to start out in the actual assembly file to create the exploded view. So on the assembly tab, you're going to have exploded view, which is right here. Now, every time you click this button, it will create a new exploded view. It looks like you delete your old one, but you actually don't. So just be real careful with that. So I'm going to click exploded view, and you have to move each item step by step. One of the things you are going to want to do is come down here and select subassembly parts. This will allow you, if you brought in any of these pieces as subassemblies, to take them apart as well. Because part of what we're going to do when we do the drawing is we're going to add the bill of materials. And the bill of materials is going to go down to the individual parts themselves. So subassemblies will be broken into pieces. So it's worth doing that here. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking parts off of this. So I'm going to actually, here's the cool part. When you click something, actually, I'm going to uncheck that real quick, just the way mine's put together. When I click something, I'll get this little XYZ mover. So I'll be able to move this back. Now, if you move it back and then up, it'll only move in one of the directions. So each time you move something, you want to click done. And then you can click it again if you wanted to move it up, down, left, right, what have you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there for now and select the subassembly parts. That way now I can take this sleeve portion off. So I'm going to take this up some, click done, click it again, and then take it back. So it's kind of lined up coming off of there. Click done. And that's the way you want to take everything apart. So I can take this pin, I pull this pin out, hit done, click it again, pull it up, and then click it again, and then I'm going to push it back this way just a little bit. We'll click done one more time. I'm going to go ahead and grab this piece, pull it up. I think we're probably good. I'll just try leaving that there. Click done. I'm going to push this pin out the back. So you're going to want to kind of use your space. If you work in the isometric view, that's really good because that's the view we're going to see. So that's why I like working in that view. You can change your view if you need to like get a hold of a certain part. But it also works real well to work in the view that you're going to look at it in. We're also going to, we got to move this pin here. Go out first. I'm going to go up a little. I'm going to go back a little. That works well. Now, if you did what I just did and you clicked done, if I click exploded view again, it's going to all collapse and it's going to look like I'm not doing it again. However, if I come over here to the configurations manager, you'll see I already have an exploded view. Okay, and if I double click it, it's my exploded view here. I can also right click on it and hit edit feature, and this puts me back editing the different parts. So knowing how mine's put together, I'm going to uncheck the click subassembly because I want to actually pull this piece out all as one piece. I'm going to pull this forward all as one piece. I'm going to click done. And now I'm going to go back to selecting the individual pieces to take it apart. I want this piece here. I want to go down first. And a little bit forward. Excuse me. Hit done. I'll pull this one down first. And a little bit forward. Pull this one up. and actually push it a little bit back so that hopefully those line up in a line. But really what you want to end up with is all of the pieces separated from each other so it looks something like this. Okay. Now I did position these pieces knowing that I'm going to do the next step here. When I accept this under exploded view, I'm going to say exploded line sketch. And this is where I'm going to start to show where the pieces go together with these route lines, is what they're called. So like the handle went slid onto there. And so I accept that. This pin went through this hole and then this hole. Now, while it's like this, you can actually take some of these and change them around so that the route lines make more sense. If you can try to get them to not cross each other. This one's not wanting to. Yeah, I was trying to change that. That's not letting me. Okay, I could also, if I wanted to perfect that, I could mess with where the part's location is. I could have it not do that. But we'll go ahead and accept that. This pin goes through here and goes through the lower hole in the base. We'll go ahead and let that route line happen. That one looks pretty good. This one goes. This pin goes through here and then through here. This one goes from here, through there. Oh. Pull out of that. Forgot this one also goes, I believe, that one goes here as well. That's what pivots that. So this should actually have no real way to edit the route line. So I'm going to go ahead and add one. There we go. Now we add that in so it's part of it. All right, and then I have my exploded view. And the nice part is if you've done it all, then it's all one view. And we've got everything showing and lined up. So save this. Now we're going to go to the drawing side. Over here I have the first page that is my assembly drawing. Then I'm going to go ahead and click New Sheet. And I am going to go to Drawing, and I'm going to go to Model View. That's already open. So I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to place it over towards the right-hand side of the page. Now, depending on your exploded view and its overall shape, you're probably going to be able to enlarge it some, at least one scale step. So I'm going to go ahead and go from 1.5 to to a 1 to 4. Didn't really change much. So I'm going to try the 1 to 2. See if we have still plenty of, oh, it's not changing at all. Let me say use sheet scale. That should be good. I can always go back and change it, but I'm going to leave it at half scale for now. So the other part that we're going to do is we're going to insert a table called a bill of materials. Now it will ask you to click on the view, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my view here. You want to make sure it's doing parts only, okay? And all of that you can leave alone, but make sure it's a parts only bill of materials. When you click it, it's going to follow you around, and we're going to put it in the upper left-hand corner. I know things are overlapping right now. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the See the Description column and push Delete to get rid of that column. If you look, now I'm no longer overlapping. Okay, I get the item number, I get the part number, which, just in case you're wondering, these part numbers come from the file names for these. Now, if you need to change whatever they say, okay, like it's arm dash long, like if you wanted it to change it to say long arm, okay, or fix the capitalization or that sort of stuff, that's fine. What you would say is you can, it will you can break the link so that you can change these without changing the file name. Okay. So that's what you can do there. The last part, well, you do have to fill out the title block, so you'll have to make sure to do that. But the other thing we want to do is we want to label all the parts with what are called balloons. So if we go to annotation, you could individually balloon this, which means you click the balloon tool and you just click each thing and paste a little balloon. The balloon is just a simple symbol and label that shows you which one is each item number. Now, if I click auto balloon, it's going to add all the balloons for me. Okay. Now, as you can see, some of them are off the page. Now, once they're added for me, though, I can grab the balloon. Now, these are what are called baseline balloons. So they're on a baseline. You can see the line that is there. So that just kind of followed in. So I want to accept the auto balloon. Then when I click the balloons, I can grab this baseline and move it in, which works good. Yeah, I can also grab these that are off the page just by clicking them. Oh, these are both on a baseline as well. I'm going to bring this baseline in and just over here. Bring these in as well. Bring these up. Now, if you don't like some of them, or like if it puts it on a baseline and you don't want it on a baseline, you can click this one individually and move it off the baseline so that you can position it wherever you want it to be. Okay. So like this one here has a really long leader line for really no reason. Because if I click this here, I can pull this. I should be able to pull this off the baseline and put it like up there, which would allow me to move this one around again. We don't want it overlapping the border, so we will come to this side. Okay, makes the baseline kind of unnecessary, so you can delete that. But you can move those individually. Okay, 9 should probably move. Reposition something more like that. Makes the arrow a little bit more uniform. Again, 7's got a really long leader for really no reason. So we'll pull it off the baseline, bring it to a better position. You can also move the where the arrow is pointing to make that a little bit better. You select the balloon, grab the point of it, and then that way you can change where it's actually pointing, which may be helpful on some of these. I'm going to pull some of these off pull this one off the baseline as well. But that's how you set this all up. So again, we want to put it in as an isometric view with the exploded view. By the way, if you end up creating multiple exploded views and it's not showing the right one, if you just click on the border of the exploded view, you do have the option to change it here. Or if it's not showing as an exploded view, you can check the box here that says show in exploded or model break state. Okay, and make sure it's the isometric shown in the correct exploded view. Showed you how to add this. I showed you how to change any of these that you need to. Showed you how to put the balloons on and edit those if you need to. But this is the drawing. This is the way the drawing should look. You should have it on the sheet, kind of centered in the space that's left, with the bill of materials in the upper right corner. Everything's ballooned and labeled. You'd fill out your title block, and this sheet would be ready to roll.